Want to know if your LLC is actually protecting your business? In part 2 of our TikTok series, I'm breaking down the viral LLC advice that could leave you completely exposed.
I'm Jonathan Feniak. I'm a business formation attorney, and today I'm reviewing the most dangerous LLC advice spreading on TikTok, and I want to set the record straight so that you can start your business with confidence. Okay, here we go.
The reason that Wyoming LLCs are popular is because you may have a California attorney, you may have a Boston attorney, you may have an Ohio attorney. They don't understand California law, they don't understand Ohio law, but almost all business attorneys understand Wyoming law. That's why they create a Wyoming LLC, they have a special court, and that's why it's kind of like the universal place to do business.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. So, when it comes to LLCs, there's a uniform body of law that's been created for LLCs. There's a Uniform Limited Liability Company Act. Most states will enact a version of that. And there's a Uniform Law Commission that the states get together and say, how can we make it easier for states to adopt laws? They may not have experts within their legislature to create these laws. They have the Uniform Limited Liability Companies Act, Uniform Trust Act, Uniform Corporations Act, and states will adopt them. But then over time, they make some tweaks to them. Most states have this uniform body of law. I don't think that's why attorneys recommend Wyoming law, because they feel more comfortable with it. The reason they recommend Wyoming is because the asset protection is the best in the country. Wyoming has set itself up as being a place where it's very difficult to pierce the veil. Wyoming has said you may only look at these things and only consider these things when determining if the veil should be pierced. And the one that I think is most important for many single LLC, when the LLC only has one owner, you cannot consider how many members of the LLC are or its tax status. That's not a factor that can be considered. The other reason is something called charging order protection. So I did a 50-state analysis of the charging order laws. Charging order says that if the member of an LLC is sued, can that person who sued them break into their LLC, foreclose on their LLC membership assets, and basically treat it like it's the members? Wyoming has charging order as the sole and exclusive remedy of an judgment creditor of the LLC member. They can't break into the LLC and take its assets to satisfy that, even if it's a single member LLC. Other states are, and I've broken them into, there's the weakest, there's weak, there's strong, and there's the strongest, but Wyoming is the strongest in that regard. And that's why it often winds up being the holding company for multiple other entities. If you have real estate in California, you need a California LLC. If you're opening up a taco truck in Texas, you need a Texas LLC. That's just the facts of the game, right? But if you want that Wyoming protection, you can have a Wyoming holding company to then own multiple California LLCs or LLCs all over the place. Or if you've got multiple businesses, have that Wyoming LLC really be a great safeguard, double layer of protection for you for veil piercing as well as for charging orders. So I don't agree with this show. All right, here we go. Keep them coming.
So as the credit king himself, if I have two LLCs and one of them is positively cash flowing, has no assets, no debts, and the other one has no assets, but I have this $100,000 loan hanging over my head, would you consider bankruptcy in that position?
I would say definitely two separate entities, right? They're two separate LLCs.
Correct.
So I would definitely say that if it was your last resort for the LLC that has no assets and the $150K SBA loan, if it comes down to it and it's something that you really want to do, absolutely.
Okay, you just threw in the part that was important to me. SBA loan. Every SBA loan that I've seen is a personal guarantee loan as well. There's a personal guarantee on it that you're giving. Do the loan with the LLC, great. The LLC took the SBA loan. All right, cool. LLC declares bankruptcy. All right, John, you now owe us the money. The LLC is not here anymore. Very narrow circumstances, I think, that could be non-recourse SBA loans. Okay, great. Now you've declared business bankruptcy. You're also going to declare personal bankruptcy as well. SBA doesn't make also, there's no asset loans like that, right? Typically you're going to have some down payment. There's going to be assets in there. It's an operating business, something else like that. What happened to the assets? Were they dissipated? You are going to have some real difficulty in that situation. bankruptcy is a last resort. You would also, by declaring that bankruptcy, good luck getting another SBA loan or getting loans from just about anywhere. Bankruptcy is really a last resort, and you have to have competent bankruptcy counsel. It helps you understand your other business interests, how they can be affected. That could be a trigger if you file bankruptcy, your business entity files bankruptcy. That could be a trigger in some covenant in one of your other loans that can cause you additional knock-on problems. So let's hear what they continue to say.
Again, when it comes to bankruptcy, it's kind of controversial. Like, it's not just something where you should just be like, oh, well, I don't feel like paying my loans back, I'm just gonna file. But if it's rock bottom and that's really your last option, I would say for the second LLC, absolutely, why not?
And they can't come after any of your personal assets or your other businesses?
Yep, as long as there's no personal guarantees and you have an LLC to shield your personal assets aside from your business assets, there's really no way for them to actually go for your personal assets like your house, your cars, or the money in your personal bank accounts, things of that nature.
Mark Pierce, one of the founders and my mentor, he said bankruptcy happens slow and then all at once, right? And so what was happening over this period of time where all of the company's assets were dissipated, the company's assets failed, or I said the company's business model failed, and what did you provide financial statements related to this, ongoing financial statements to the lender? He said SBA loan, ongoing financial statements to the SBA. You better make damn sure those were truthful at the time you did them. Because when you this is not just, oh, okay, thanks, man, got a bankruptcy, see you later. It's going to be scrutinized. Everything that happened with the company, you need to be very careful. Again, when you're taking a step like bankruptcy, you need to go in and do a forensic analysis on your own or with your attorney to see, is this, well, I didn't have the personal guarantee, but this could spin into a fraud situation if there were actions you took that really didn't align with what the statements you made or other things. So bankruptcy is not an easy choice. I don't think he was making it sound like an easy choice. There's some difficulty there. You're at rock bottom. But even in a rock bottom situation, bankruptcy may provide you with little benefit and a heck of a lot of additional expense. Great. That was great. I really enjoyed that. There were some kernels of truth, but I think not enough nuance to some of these things. And here's the thing, though. I mean, I think what we established here is that the LLC by itself is not the end. It's just the start. So you need to know that in order to get the protection, to deliver on that limited liability protection, there's additional things you need to do. And do them, right? It's got to be part of your business. You set aside the time to manage that company. Our next video is going to get into a lot of those things in more detail, what it is you need to do to make sure that your LLC delivers on the promise of that limited liability protection. So I'm Jonathan Feniak, and I'll see you in the next video.